house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. Been practicing this good. A little bit. Did I rush you? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Big Easy Bets podcast. I'm your host, Logan. With me in the studio, Nick Von Brick.
What up?
With us on the ones and twos, Justin, the Russian concussion mascaro.
What's going on?
This is episode 194. It's college football week 2, NFL week 1. We are kicking off the NFL season with a bang. We're going to give you all of our best bets for the upcoming slate of games. If you're listening, watching, wherever you're at, hit the subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button as well. It helps us out big time. You need a place to place these bets, and we've got you covered. BetStamp. Go to signupexpert.com/BigEasyBets. The link will be in the description. This is the season of all the best promo offers. FanDuel's doing a risk $5, get $200 in bonus bets back. It's essentially, I'm not going to say free money because I'm not allowed to say that, but you're getting $200 to bet with right off the bat. You go through the link in the description. All you have to do is pick the sports book you like, and you are helping out our sports book. You're helping out our podcast tremendously. We have a lot to dive into. I think it's obvious what we'll touch on first, but among other things, then like I said, we're gonna recap a roller coaster of a week betting. And then get into our best bets. So I guess we can start it off with the elephant in the room. LSU, for the 3rd consecutive season in the Brian Kelly era and the 5th consecutive season overall, loses their season opener. You're the LSU alum in the room, so I'll let you start it off. I would have been an LSU alum if I was smarter, but
yeah, I don't know. I think there was a lot of bright spots for the team overall. It just really came down to like little discipline. There was a few plays where I didn't agree with the play calling in critical moments of the game.
Like running it on 3rd and short when everybody in the building knew you were going to run.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem of the whole game is that play call, because it's right after we stop them on 4th down. We ran it on 1st down, didn't get any yards. On 2nd down, we make it 3rd and 1. And I fucking hate whenever they hurry up to the line. Like, you're not going to beat them to the line of scrimmage and be able to get 1 yard. I hate that.
Yeah, clearly loaded box. Clearly loaded box, and you run into it, and, oh, man, like, what'd you expect?
It's like if you hurry up right there, you might as well, like, do some play action and try to hit the tight end in the flat or something
Which we've seen that play before.
To catch them off guard. But, like, I don't think that hurrying to the line and running it really quick ever works, or rarely does it ever work.
Okay, so I was impulsively tweeting from the podcast page, but which I do from time to time. But my question, is Brian Kelly on the hot seat?
I don't think so.
Okay. What would it take for Brian Kelly to be on the hot seat?
I don't know. You look at, like, I forget. We have a handful of games before we have to play Ole Miss.
It's like 3 or 4.
So
you get obliterated. Get obliterated by Ole Miss as the hot seat? No.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. This is me personally. I think it's got to be a little hot. This is the 3rd year in a row now that you've had an entire offseason to plan for a team, and we lose. I understand last year's Florida State team was fantastic. The year before that, we probably should have had them if Malik Neighbors could not muff punts and the field goal, the extra point fiasco. I get it. But regardless, at some point you got to win a fucking game.
Yeah. I think the thing that's most upsetting is that the game was in LSU's hands.
Yes.
Late in the game.
Yes.
And we weren't able to finish, but
yes. So
I think USC is a whole lot better than anybody
I would agree.
Anybody thought.
Yes, I would agree with that. USC's much better than we expected, myself included, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I have completely flipped the script on the coordinators are the most important because they can take it's just you saw it with Georgia Tech with a shitbag defense. Santucci turns them around. LSU's defense looked better with Blake Baker. You've got USC's defense all of a sudden can stop the run. But so is it a credit to USC's defense, or is it a question mark on LSU's vaulted offensive line? Where was that? They were not moving anybody in the run game. They can pass protect.
Yeah.
But when it was time to run the football.
I mean, that's been kind of the question with LSU for the past couple years.
Yeah.
We haven't really been able to generate much of a rushing attack outside of the quarterback run with Jaden Daniels. So.
But the talk this
I think
season
it's
was
scheme,
the
though.
O-line.
It's like I texted you about it. We keep running inside the tackles. And I thought we had more success when we ran it outside the tackles in the game, but
yeah, and then Emory started kind of taking over a little bit, running really hard, played great, but everything was so conservative. That's why I immediately texted you. I was like, I would like him to throw the fucking football down the field, because you could still tell there's still holes in this USC secondary. If you give Nuss time, which they were, he was finding people over the middle. The middle was open. So I don't know. I think the seat has to be a little hot. Because, well, people are like, well, it's a 12-team now. It's a 12-team playoff, so your season's not over. That's irrelevant to me. That's irrelevant. Yeah, great. Now they've expanded it, so we still have a chance to get in. But I don't care. You should win the game. It shouldn't be like, okay, well, yeah, we lost, but it's like, no, we fucking lost to a team that we were favored against at one point, nearly a touchdown, and we're expected to win that game. I don't know. It was a really frustrating. Obviously, second half performance. Where the fuck? We're past the 5-minute mark. Where the fuck was Kyron Lacey in the second half? Brian Kelly came out and said, I had a talk with Joe Sloan. Like, we need to get Kyron Lacey involved. He's one of our best players. This was like today. Why didn't you go have that talk with him going into the fucking fourth quarter when we didn't throw him the football anymore? I don't think he had one catch in the second half. I want to say he had like 6 for 94 and a touchdown in the first half. In the second half, he didn't have shit. I don't know.
Yeah, it was frustrating because there was a couple times where it seems like this happened either last year or the year before, where we're not able to get the play in time. We got a delay of the game out of a kickoff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just like kind of.
The red zone offense was horrific.
They seemed unprepared, undisciplined. I mean.
We're great at moving it until we get to the
touchdown celebration's unacceptable.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they take the kick.
That change, that's big for field position. And then after the fourth down stop, taking your helmet off on the field, like
Major Burns, yeah.
You take that penalty away and put us in the same situation that we were just talking about, and all of a sudden we're at 4th and 1, and that's a go for it. That's a go for it.
It was like at the 50-yard line around.
Yeah, we were going to be near.
Yeah,
near the 50.
But so that's supposed to be Brian Kelly's like calling card with Coach O. Remember, it was like he's just it's Coach O, like undisciplined, and that's kind of what you expected, I guess. Whereas Brian Kelly was supposed to be like this buttoned up, like it's the epitome of a college football coach. He's in that upper echelon of coaches, and his teams are ready to roll. You don't see it, especially game one, like. Billy Napier's teams, we expect that shit out of. With Florida, that's what we've seen every year. But you see it with LSU as well. Somebody on Facebook was like an absolute clown for one, but he was like, LSU fans are so entitled and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, that's what happens when you have success and you pay a goddamn coach $90 million guaranteed. That's not entitlement. That's there is a bar that has been set. Brian Kelly knew that bar when he came in and took the job and took $90 million guaranteed. So it's like he's coming in well below expectations. It's championship or bust at LSU. It is. We've won, 3 in the last 20 years, basically? That's better than probably 99% of all other fucking programs. So I don't know. I don't think it's like this ridiculous ask to come out and win the first game of the fucking season and not have your season over, which I understand it's different this year for the first time, but I don't care that we're going to a 12-team playoff now. I care that we continuously lose the first game of the fucking year when you have all offseason to plan for this team. And we took one problem with Matt House on the defensive side of the ball, got the fuck rid of him, and now we have a whole new problem with Sloan, who's the Matt House version of an offensive coordinator. Everything was side to side. Everything was very, very, very conservative at some point. So Brian Kelly was talking today about how we got to have that killer instinct. It's like, are you talking to Joe Sloan, or are you only talking about the players? Are you talking about the play caller as well? Because Garrett Nussmeier is not the fucking problem.
No.
And Brian Kelly was quick to say that Miller Moss outplayed Garrett Nussmeier. I would disagree.
Yeah, I would as well.
I would disagree.
I think there's the one play where he had to settle for the field goal. And,
he did miss a throw in the flat.
Yeah, that would have been big if he makes that throw. But
USC was making these like heroic plays. The catch, the one-handed, like they kept coming up with these like miraculous plays, and we couldn't fall on a fumble and everything. A lot of things did not go our way in terms of the ball bouncing, but I don't like him throwing Nussmeier under the bus. Nussmeier was not the problem. Nussmeier was not the problem at all. You can blame the offensive line more than you can blame Nussmeier, in my opinion. I don't blame the defense either. USC had 17 points. This goddamn game was a fucking 64-point total.
Yep.
It was what, 10-10 at halftime? Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it was 10-10.
But yeah, the person on Facebook is like, he's like, have you ever dressed and traveled with a college team? He played for McNeese, and he didn't play. Like, yeah, I didn't respond. The maturity in me, I just bowed out of the conversation because my response was going to be like, I like your emphasis on dressed and traveled because we both didn't play. I just don't think it's a crazy ask to want your fucking football team to win the first game. Like, we had a 25% chance of making that college football playoff with the 12-team expansion. Now we have a 5.
Yeah.
So, inexcusable if you ask me. I don't think Nussmeier was the problem. I thought Nussmeier looked good. I don't like I'm mad and I'm hitting the table in the post game. Like, go get fucking mad on the sideline. Go chew somebody out. They talk about how he used to do that back in the day. Where is it? Go fucking wring Joe Sloan's neck. I don't know. I mean, you weren't pissed?
Yeah, I was pissed. But like, just overall looking at it, I think this team has the chance to be better than, as a total team, has.
Yeah,
like,
the defense has improved for sure.
Has a chance. Like, I think no matter who we play, we're gonna have a chance to win in the regular season.
Yeah, when you have a quarterback he was poised under pressure. He didn't panic. There was a couple times when they sent an all-out blitz, he launched that bitch. Like, instead of like maybe making something happen, making like Burrow when Georgia's rushing him and he makes somebody miss and you get a play to Jefferson on the right sideline way downfield. He wasn't even really trying to do any of that. He did kind of get rid of the ball ASAP. Maybe that's the play call, like it's this or nothing. I don't know. But I texted you once. I don't know if you noticed it, but it was only like 2 or 3 times. But I felt like he got rid of it quick. But in terms of like, he looked accurate. There was a miss here or there. The ball to Kyron Lacy was a beautiful ball. I felt like Nussmeier checked all the boxes. I think he was, 12 of 14 in the first half at one point. But the defense has improved. If Emery's going to run the ball the way he can, or was, I think the running back room's improved.
Yeah.
The offensive line has to play better. But outside of that, I didn't think the defense played bad. They were getting pressure. And it was just a couple like Perkins blows up the read option, like went with the running back and then still grabbed the quarterback as he took it on that one play. It's like you could very easily have a fumble there. I would agree. I think the team's definitely much better as a whole. We don't have a Jaden Daniels. We don't have a Malik Neighbors, but Kyron Lacy's good. He's going to be good. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. The Skies, obviously.
Special teams, too. The returner is going to be an X factor this year.
Yeah. Sky's not falling. Season's not over because it's a 12-team playoff. But there was a lot of teams that looked good, and we're going to find out.
Well, you got a lot of work to do. Not only you have to win all your games in the SEC.
Yeah, you're behind
the 8 ball. You're going to have to play Georgia.
Yeah, you're behind the 8 ball for
sure. They're far and away the best team.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that, Ohio State, but we'll get to that. We're behind the 8 ball for sure, and that's what's so frustrating about it. You pay this guy all this money, and every year we get behind the 8 ball. So is it just the price of his contract that's why the seat's not hot?
I think this year will tell the tale.
Oh, I think it'll tell the tale in a month when we play Ole Miss. Yeah. So
you want to be in contention to be playing for the SEC championship this season.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't have a ton to touch on before we get to these games. This is obviously going to be, like I mentioned earlier, NFL episode as well, so a little bit longer. Really, it's just all in regards to the recap, I guess. Justin, you swept the board. You got to be feeling pretty good.
I feel good.
Yeah.
I did put it all on LSU. So.
Well, why the fuck would you say that?
Yeah.
Okay, so Justin lost all of his money.
I put a lot of money on LSU too.
Yeah, me too. I did.
On the money line, though, I wasn't laying any points, but
I laid them. But anyway, I just got absolutely steamrolled over to start the weekend at least, and then it was a triple whammy for me. I hit rock bottom for sure. We'll just dive into the recap, I guess. So Thursday I had Colorado minus 9.5 and over 59.5. And long story short, I've mentioned it a million times this week because this shit will have you questioning everything. Like how did I get here? Shedeur Sanders threw an interception off of a down defender's calf that popped up into the air and was intercepted by North Dakota State. That was the difference in Colorado covering the number and the over hitting. Even after North Dakota State scored a touchdown to get inside the number, Colorado still, for no reason at all, Colorado still tried to cover the number. And they threw a deep ball down the left sideline that LeJonte Wester had his guy beat by 6 yards, and Shedeur Sanders underthrew it. They tried to get a walk-off, hit the over, cover the spread with there was no business throwing that ball. I mean, I literally gasped. I gasped when he threw it. And he underthrew it. So just a brutal start. Should have been a double winner. We're off with a double loser. Fast forward to the next day, TCU minus 9. They played like shit, fumbled on a read option going into halftime inside the 5-yard line. So let me just say this. I'm not asking to get lucky. I'm just asking to not get unlucky. I just don't want to get unlucky. I don't want an untouched fumble that the defense had no business, that they did nothing. They didn't cause this fumble. It was just a mental error by the quarterback. They fumble a read option inside the 5-yard line going into halftime, and then they're coming out and getting the ball in the second half. Huge swing. TCU minus 9. They're covering with a minute left, and then Stanford kicked a field goal. They were up 10. Stanford kicked a field goal with 30, 40 seconds left. It was a 45-yard field goal. TCU wins by 7. So now we're 0-3. We should be looking at 3-0. Virginia Tech fucking sucks. Virginia Tech, Diego Pavia, Jerry Kill, Eli Stowers, anybody that was worth a goddamn shit at New Mexico State went to Vanderbilt, and this goddamn guy beat Auburn last year, and he beat Virginia Tech this year. Diego Pavia is a top 5 quarterback in the SEC. It was the exact scenario that was my nightmare. He's just running all over everybody. They act like they've never done quarterback contain, double tap R1 on fucking college football, and Diego Pavia ain't going anywhere. So we're 0-4, and then at this point we have just completely spiraled. I went and got Popeyes. I spent $40 on Popeyes.
Jeez.
And I knew, I felt like that guy who was smoking out of a crack pipe and was it had that moment of clarity. I'm at the window. I pay with cash. I never pay with cash. It was $40 and whatever cents, and I give him $41, and he goes, Miss Marianne, 72. I was like, the fuck does that mean? And she goes, 2 quarters, 2 dimes, 2 pennies. I was like, oh my God, he's asking her for what the fuck, how to make change. I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I got to go eat a salad or something, dude. But we started rattling off a couple winners after that. And it was getting dark, but not before we got screwed with Boise State as well. Ashton Genty, like I said, was going to run all over this team. I think he ran for motherfucking 6 touchdowns and set a school record. Their defense was horrific. Boise State allowed Georgia Southern, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that sucked.
That was
because they even went for 2, and if they failed, you were going to push.
Yes.
And then they got it,
Yeah.
of course.
No, yeah, and it's always like you're like, fuck. And then I was looking, I was like, well, they might go for 2 here. And then they do. I'm like, okay, we still got a chance. No, we get fucked. But then we rattled off 3 winners to end the night. Miami minus 2.5. There's 2 teams, in my opinion, that stole the show this weekend. One was expected, the other one was not. One was Georgia. Dominant performance over Clemson. The second one was Miami. Miami, 2.5-point favorites on the road in the Swamp, dominated Florida. Cam Ward looked fantastic, a little nonchalant in the beginning. That was questionable. The fucking jogging with like still 5 yards to go to get out of bounds. If I'm Florida, I'm laying him the fuck out. But yeah, so the reason why I don't feel that bad, it's a bad start, really bad start, and it's poetic that I threw so many resources into making this studio, and I'm gonna have a fucking horrific start to this year. The reason why I don't feel that bad, because this year, with the exception of this week, with the exception of 2 plays, my wins were dominant wins, and the majority of my losses were just bad breaks. So, because realistically, you could be looking at a 3-0 start. At one point I think it was before the LSU game, I could have been 7-1, because you think with Boise, TCU, Colorado State, or Colorado, whatever. But anyway, we had the Notre Dame A&M under 46.5. This was, this might have been 10-10 at halftime. Like, this was very, very low scoring. I told you I actually live bet the over 21, and they hit that field goal at the end for it to be 24 points scored in the second half. So got a double winner there. That was fantastic. I needed it. And then Arizona, New Mexico. I needed this for my fucking soul. This game, I think it hit over basically in the first half. The total was 58. They scored 100 points. Fafita and McMillan are good, and New Mexico's defense is fucking bad. That was the handicap, and it was spot on. Also, Devin Dampier is pretty fucking good, too. He was kind of cutting up on him in the first half, hit him with the fake pitch like it was NFL Street when he was past the line of scrimmage, and they still fell for it. But then we closed it out with the over in the LSU-USC game. We got good closing line value on that as well. Went up to like 67.5. Didn't matter. Didn't come close to hitting. We go 3-6 on the weekend. A brutal 3-6. But like I said, the wins were dominant wins. The majority of the losses were just bad beats, and we will live to fight another week. We're sitting at 3-8 and then 0-1 in the locks of the week. You went. I'll let you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, I went 2-2. I had Coastal on Thursday night. Coastal plus 2.5 playing against Jacksonville State.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, Coastal's improved. They are leaning on the run, and that kind of opened up the big play downfield in the passing game here. They won 55 to 20-something, 27.
They dominated them. It wasn't even close.
Virginia Tech, Logan talked about it. It was a frustrating game. They got down 17-0, and it was kind of a long shot to try to cover from there. They ended up going up by 7 with 4 minutes left, but then ultimately they lost the game in overtime. UMass minus 1.5. Both of these teams, UMass and Eastern Michigan, are really bad teams. Eastern Michigan's quarterback's a little bit better than UMass's. They have some playmakers too. He made some nice throws downfield. That was the difference in this one. UNLV plus 2.5. I think the biggest takeaway from this game is that UNLV's defense is pretty damn good. They held Houston to like under 300 yards of total offense and like hardly any rushing yards at all. So they put a lot of pressure on what's his name?
Donovan Smith. Yeah.
And he threw 2 interceptions like I kind of hinted at.
Yeah.
So
they were up 28 at one point, right?
I think they won 27 to a little bit.
Well, then maybe it was like 17. No, they were up a lot.
The offense didn't do that. It was a transfer from FCS, Holy Cross, at quarterback. He didn't play terrible, but it was the defense that carried him here.
Okay. So you go 2-2. You're sitting at 2-5. Okay. So 0-2 in your locks of the week. Yeah, I put 0-1. I didn't adjust that. So we shouldn't even fucking count week 0. But
yeah,
whatever. Justin, you swept 3-0. You had Justin gets Oklahoma minus 42. Oklahoma had no business covering that number.
Yeah, and then he frickin'
Well, Georgia was a fantastic play.
Yeah, but the under
Oh, yeah.
Just slithered away with that one.
Yeah, you
too.
had under 40.5 in Iowa and whoever the fuck they were playing. Illinois State.
South Illinois or some shit.
Yeah, and Iowa scores 40 themselves, and they were marching there at the end. It got a little dicey.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get screwed, but
Yeah.
I thought so too. I thought they were gonna take the starters out, but then
At one point, it was like, I think it was like 9-0 in the first half, though.
yeah, I think at halftime it was 9-6.
Yeah,
Or 13-6 or something. Or no, not 6.
No, it
but-
wasn't that much.
Yeah.
I
Like
remember
6-0.
thinking like it's the same old bullshit Iowa offense that they hype up every year, but then they opened it up. But some of those throws, I don't know if y'all, I was watching. I tried to watch every fucking game. There were some, he just kind of, McNamara threw up, and it was like, Iowa's just bigger than this trash, whatever school they were playing. It was not like, oh, he threw a dime. It was like they were playing 3 flies in, and he went up and just got it. So I don't know how reliable that's going to be going forward, but we'll see. But so you go 3-0. You were 5-1 overall.
Yep. 5-1.
Okay. Yeah, Justin's doing good. Let's talk about the money line parlay though, because you and
wasn't
Joseph
all on me.
fucking I said as soon as he gave LSU, I said I didn't like it. But you and Joseph let us, not just the listeners, me and Justin as well, y'all left us out to dry. Do you have anything to say? Nothing?
No.
I had Oklahoma State. They fucking not only I should have took them because they covered, and I wanted. That's why I was trying to look at it. I was like, if it's a team that I think is going to cover, and it's within the number of the parlay requirements, I like one I'm on the fence on. Then I'll just take them on the money line. Oklahoma State covered the number. They look damn good. And then Justin, you had TCU, which I was on. They did not cover, but they won. All righty, let's dive into it. I don't know how many plays exactly I'm going to have this week, but does anybody have anything for Friday?
I got one.
You do? Okay. Do you have anything? No, I don't currently either. Go ahead, Justin.
All right. Friday, going to BYU and SMU. SMU now has 2 games under their belt and is averaging over 400 yards a game and 30 points a game, while also giving up 25 points a game. BYU's coming off of a 41-13 win against Southern Illinois with nearly 600 yards of offense, while also giving up 13 points and 230 yards. I think both of these offenses are going to go out trying to go for some big plays, and I don't have faith in either of their defenses, so I'm going to take the over here at 56.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking. I thought you were about to lay with SMU, to be honest. I don't feel confident in SMU. I got to see it. They did not look good in week 0. I understand they played a nobody last week. I don't hate the over, though. I didn't look into that one too much.
Yeah, I would lean SMU here.
It's just, I don't know. Oh, that's another thing, too. Yeah, I got a sore throat.
I think they have the better defense.
Yeah, I was talking about my sore throat after
I
everything.
kind of have a sore throat, too.
Yeah, it must be going around.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, maybe. Everything that happened to me this weekend, that was the nail in the fucking coffin. I was like, oh, my God. You don't realize how much a sore throat sucks until you get one. And then you take for granted not having a sore throat. Anyway, so you're on the over. What number did you get?
56.
56. I can give you 55.5. All right, let's go to Saturday. We'll start it off with the biggest game of the week. I texted Nick about this. Absolutely pissed me off that the line is moved, basically. Texas and Michigan, a top 10 matchup. Texas is currently 7 to a 7.5 point favorite. The total is right around 42.5. Are you on this?
No.
No? Justin, are you on it?
No.
Okay. So I am going to get an updated number real quick just to see what exactly we're sitting at. There are still 7s available. And then over, under, best, if you're looking at the over, you can get a 43. If you're looking at the under, you can get a 44.5. So I bet already Texas -6. Obviously, I can't give that out anymore. But the first bet I had was under 48.5, and that came way down. When we were talking about it, you said that at this number you would potentially consider Michigan. I don't know what Michigan's going to do on the offensive side of the ball. So we know that this is why I love the the under because I don't think Michigan's going to score much at all. Texas's defense did not look that bad. And I said in the spring game, I thought the ones looked much improved against Quinn Ewers. So I think Texas's defense is solid. Michigan's defense is elite, especially their D-line. I don't know that Michigan's going to find their way into the end zone very much. I would still almost consider an under here, but it's come down so much that I can't do it.
Yeah, it's at 43 right now, 43.5.
I see a 42.5 as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's might have came down too much, but then again, when you think about it, I was texting you. I think Ewers might struggle here. So
okay, I thought that was a crazy question. You said, do they go to Arch Manning if he does struggle?
Yeah,
I think no.
I think a lot of people
define struggle. I think Arch Manning's very
struggling
good.
to win the damn game.
I know, but you think they jump ship week 2?
I'm saying that if he, I mean, you've seen when he.
But it's like, how
up.
bad does he have to struggle for them to put? Because it's like, what do you mean? 3 interceptions, maybe, but like no touchdowns, 1 pick going into the fourth quarter, or going into the second half.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if they're struggling to move the ball or in danger of losing the game, then they'll go to the backup.
I don't think, dude, that's crazy. I feel like at that point they must.
I already think there's already rumblings that he might be better.
Well, I told you when I watched the spring game, I was like,
and you're not the only one that I've heard that from.
He's fucking good, and he came in and he looked great in garbage time last week. But I just feel like I don't think so. Week 2, and then I don't know. I mean,
you think they're gonna risk losing?
I think it would have to be like they're down 3 scores. It would have to be like a Caleb Williams, Spencer Rattler situation against Texas in the Red River rivalry. It'd have to be like
maybe.
It'd have to be like he's playing so bad, they're down 3 scores at this point. Because that's kind of what it was. They put Caleb Williams in, and he had the heroic comeback. But if it's a close game, no, I don't. And also, too, it's like you're kind of, unless you know, like he's the guy, like no problem, doesn't matter. Throwing him into the big house for your first game on the road in a top 10 matchup, that's why I said it's the ultimate sink or swim moment. So I don't think that they would do it. It would have to be well out of hand. I don't think Michigan's offense is good enough to pull away, to make it. I don't think they're going to dominate Texas. I'm not saying, like, let's put it this way. I'm going to take Texas -7. I already am sitting on a -6 ticket. I'll take Texas -7 for the sake of the show. I can certainly see Ewers struggling. They're going to struggle to run the ball, for sure. But Will Johnson's probably the best cornerback in college football. Throw it the other side. They have a lot of weapons. Bond looked good. They have speed. They have a ton of speed. I think I really do. This centers around. The reason why I'm taking Texas is because whenever I was looking at the under, it's like everything is centered around I think Michigan's going to struggle. So I'll take Texas -7. But if they let's put it this way, if they put Arch Manning in, on paper, I'm not going to be mad because I think he's fucking good. But I just think it's a really, really tough spot to be thrown into. And then you don't go back. It's like it would be exactly what we saw with Caleb Williams. So, but Ewers, I mean, they were a play away from the national championship. So it's not like Spencer Rattler was doing that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I've seen Ewers struggle in some big games. So
yeah, no, without a doubt. I mean, we saw him.
And this is probably the best defense. I mean, I can't recall a better defense that he's ever had to play.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him struggle against Oklahoma last year. It was a slow start against Washington, wasn't it, in the semifinal? I don't remember.
I don't recall.
I think Michigan's got a serious problem at quarterback. All offseason, at least I thought, and from everything I saw, people were under the impression that Alex Orji was going to be the quarterback. He stinks. So they went to this other guy, and he's not very good either. And I don't know that they have a ton of weapons. Offensively, I think it's going to be tough for Michigan to score the ball. So I will take Texas -7. What is your first one for Saturday?
I'm going Kansas State at Tulane. I'm going to lay the 9.5 with Kansas State.
I'm on it as well. I almost made this.
I think we talked about it
so
in the preview.
If you want to jump off.
Oh, what?
I said I almost made this my lock of the week.
No. Avery Johnson looked just okay last week. 14 of 21, 153 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. He did throw an interception, and he rushed for 37 yards against UT Martin. They didn't really need him to do all that much in this game. They had success running the ball with the running backs. Tulane has a freshman quarterback. They played Southeastern last week, 52-0.
They also got a pick 6 in that game. It's not
I just think it's going to be tough for them with a freshman quarterback to hang in this one. So I'm going to lay the 9.5 with Kansas State.
Yeah, I'm fully with you. We've seen this matchup. They played multiple times in the last few years at this point, and Tulane pulled off the upset one year, I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. The strength of Tulane's defense is their D-line. The weakness is their secondary. So it's what's going to prevail. Is it going to be the question marks with Avery Johnson throwing the ball, or like what? I think Avery Johnson's going to be able to exploit the weak Tulane secondary is what I'm getting at. The strength of their team is their D-line. I think his legs will come into play. They didn't need him to run. I think he had 3 rushes last week. They didn't need him to run. He's a dynamic runner. He's a better runner than he is thrower. So you have a weak secondary that he'll be able to move the ball through the air on. And then they have a good offensive line for one, but if things do break down, I think we're going to see him make a lot of plays with his legs in this one when needed. I think Kansas State should handle this, but things have not gone according to plan so far this year. But I just think they're going to outmatch Tulane for sure. So, let's see. How many total do you have, Justin?
I have 3 left, including my lock.
Okay. All righty. How many total do you have?
5.
Okay. I'm trying to see. Do I have? I thought I had another one. I kind of want to lay it with Penn State. I don't think I'm going to, but I kind of want to. Yeah. Penn State looked fucking good. Did you watch?
Yeah. I watched pieces of it because then it got into a long-ass rain delay.
Yes. Aller looked improved more in the second half than the first half. I thought Aller, and I was watching closely because I like Penn State. I was high on Drew Aller last year. They beat up on West Virginia for one, covered late. Didn't beat up on them, but covered late. So I wanted to see. There were question marks. The defense is what it is. It's just as good as last year. Their corners are fucking fantastic. West Virginia kept trying to do the wide receiver screens. Doesn't work. They blow it up. The defense looked great. I thought Aller looked improved. The two-headed monster at running back. James Franklin always knows the spread, obviously, as we know. Under 35, I really want to lay it with Penn State, but I'm not going to. I'm going to hold off, I guess. But I did think they looked good. I think that's not a bad West Virginia team. That's a West Virginia team that's much improved from years past, and they handled them. It wasn't. Another one is Arkansas, Oklahoma State. I want to lay it with Oklahoma State, but I don't know if there's a 7. Let me see. What do you have any thoughts on this? There is no 7. 7.5 and 8s. I thought Oklahoma State looked good.
Yeah.
Like damn good. So, and Arkansas looked fantastic against a nobody school. Taylor Green was running all over them. I don't think they're really going to be able to do that against Oklahoma State, especially on the road. We are on Arkansas's under win total. I was kind of hoping one of y'all would be like, yeah, I'm on that. So I'll hold off, but I want to lay it with Oklahoma State there. If it were under a touchdown, I would. Okay, just go with your next one.
I'm going to Army at FAU. FAU's 4-point favorites, over under 43. FAU played against Michigan State. They really struggled to move the ball, but the defense did its job, I guess. They held Michigan State to 16 points, 3 for 15 on third down, and only 293 total yards. They did struggle a little bit against the run, but not really too bad considering the volume that they were facing. So we know Army's leans on the run and they milk the clock. I think FAU offense really isn't high-powered enough here to take over the game, so I'm going to go Army FAU under 43.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. My next one is going to be a 2:30 kick. Northern Illinois and Notre Dame. Notre Dame's at home. 29.5 favorites. Total sits at 44.5. I'll get right to it. I think Notre Dame's going to be a very public pick. We just saw them, in my opinion, look good against an A&M team. Could have looked better offensively, I suppose, but Riley Leonard did what he needed to do down the stretch with his legs. I'm going to bank on this potentially being some semblance of a rest spot for Notre Dame, and I'm going to take the points with NIU. Wide receiver Jordan Faison's going to miss 1 to 2 weeks. Didn't have a spectacular game against A&M, but the point is, I would imagine there's other guys like him that are banged up. This is a perfect opportunity for Notre Dame to kind of rest and recoup. The offense is obviously going to look much better. This is not an A&M defense, but I could just see them kind of not having their foot on the gas in this one. There is supposed to be a fair amount of wind. So let's run the ball. NIU wants to run the ball. Let's run the clock. And let's try to stay inside this number. I got 29.5. Any thoughts on it?
No, not really.
Okay. Is anybody on the Cyhawk?
No.
No? You always are. You're not?
What?
Iowa
used
State,
to always
Iowa.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Okay. It's called the Cyhawk.
I didn't hear what you said.
Okay. Which side are you on?
It's my lock.
Oh, my God. That's crazy. That's crazy. Do you have an opinion on this one?
No.
At under 3, I kind of want to just lay it with Iowa, but
I like Iowa State.
no, I know. Relax. I know. Under 3, you still like? I like the quarterback. I'm blanking on his
Rocco
name.
Beck.
Beck, yes. So I'll stay away, but the total's 35.5. You saw what Iowa's offense just did? Come on. All righty. What is your next one?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Colorado, Nebraska.
I'm on it.
I'm taking the over 58. Colorado 500, over 500 yards of offense, 7 of 11 on third down, and the defense didn't look really good, surprisingly. There wasn't more points scored in their first game against North Dakota State. I think
That was surprising.
I think Colorado's offense is really all they have, and I think it's good enough to get some points here. I think Nebraska should do a little bit. I think compared to North Dakota State, Nebraska probably has the chance to hit them with a few more explosives here. I think the Colorado defense going against North Dakota State kind of was just good enough to limit explosive plays, but not stop drives, if that makes sense. So it was kind of like some long drives there, especially in the second half, that kind of took a lot of time off the clock and didn't result in as many points as you would have thought would have. I like the freshman for Nebraska. I don't think he's going to face much resistance against this defense, so I'm going over. I would also I wonder what you're picking because I might jump on it too.
Okay, well, so I can give you 57.5 because that's what I got. I'm on the over as well. If I had to lean aside, I would lean Colorado. Call me crazy. I understand. I would lean Colorado with the side. Dylan Raiola is going to be very good. They played same thing. They played a nobody school. I don't think Colorado everything you just said I agree with in terms of the total. Everything I wrote down just for transparency. Similar to last year's matchup, I think Nebraska is going to have a serious advantage with their offensive line. They're going to be able to move Colorado's defensive line. They should be able to run the ball at will, which will open things up and make life easier for true freshman Dylan Raiola. Colorado has nothing but weapons, and then the way they play, even they make up for their lack of offensive line by the quick outs and very quick get it to their weapons offense, and then they're not afraid to take the deep shots. They got guys. When you have a guy like Travis Hunter that can make that fucking catch that he made there down at the end of the game, that was one of the most impressive catches I've ever seen by the right pylon. They just have playmakers all across the field. I think they're going to be able to put points up on the board here, but I just think it's going to be like if you remember last year, Nebraska was dominating in the trenches. Jeff Sims just kept fumbling the fucking football. So Raiola's going to be very good. Is he going to be very good this year? I don't know, but he can throw the shit out of a deep ball. There's going to be opportunities. I think points will not be hard to come by in this one. So, side-wise, did you want to take Nebraska?
Yeah.
Over a touchdown, I think that Colorado's just crazy enough to somehow keep in it. I don't know, but I haven't been right about shit this year. So I'm not on the side for that reason, but we're in agreement there. Like I said, you can get a 57.5. So we're both on the over there. I just saw it. I just got to see Raiola look dominant against a team with a pulse, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they'll have a lot of success running it, but
yeah, I agree.
it's like sometimes you just watch and when you watch the talent on offense, you can't believe it's as bad as it is on defense.
For Colorado?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like they didn't get the players they have on offense from the same place they got the defense.
But like UTEP is horrific. UTEP's not good. And I mean, if you look at it, they only scored more than one touchdown in one quarter. They scored 23 points in the second quarter, but it was 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. And then they scored 7 in the third and then 3 in the fourth. So I'm trying to see at what point did Raiola come out? He was in there in the second half. So slow start, they turned it on, and then it looks like shortly after that, once the game I guess was in hand, they went to Henrik Harburg. Yeah, I'm not going to take the side. I will take the over though. Are you on this one, Justin?
I'm not, no.
Okay. What is your next one?
I have a 2:30 game on Saturday.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the Auburn and Cal game.
Okay.
Auburn's coming off of a 73-0 steamroll against Alabama A&M, led by Peyton Thorne, who we all know from Michigan State. And then he had 322 yards and 4 touchdowns. As a team, they combined for 630 yards. Cal is coming off of a 31-13 win over UC Davis.
Yeah, Cal did not look good.
No. And
not if that shit's on your pick. That's not my point.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Which they only led at 1 at halftime. Cal's defense was able to force 3 turnovers, though, and they kind of just got lucky with those turnovers because they ended up being on UC Davis's side of the field whenever they got them. But this Auburn team was able to return 75% of their offensive starters from last season. So I think with that experience really showed last week when they were able to put up video game numbers. I think this team has a chip on their shoulder after losing to New Mexico State and Maryland in 2 of their last 3 games last year. So I think this spread should be around 20-21. So I'm going to take Auburn minus 13.
Okay. Yeah, there's no way that I would endorse a Cal pick, I suppose. They did not look good. If you remember, though, my favorite pick of bowl season last year was the Cal Golden Bears, and they shit down their fucking leg. Mendoza is not that bad. He showed flashes last year. I love Jaden Ott. Jaden Ott's fucking fantastic. But they did not look good. There's no way that I would take Cal going on the road. I do like your point of we watched this team lose to New Mexico State and not just lose, get dominated. Yeah, I don't know. I don't put a ton of stock into – I don't even know who the fuck they played. Alabama A&M. But, yeah, I mean, a 70-point win is fucking impressive no matter who you're playing. I don't have anything on this one. Are you on it?
I'm not.
Okay. What is your
I think
next
Jaden Ott's hurt, too.
Is he? I know he played last week.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if Jaden Ott's hurt, I mean, yeah, he's one of the better running backs in the country. So, if he's out. Let me ask you this. Are you on – Let's get down to brass tacks here. Are you, dude? I scroll past these games. I must scroll past them fucking a million times, just going back and forth. Where's the goddamn game? Are you on Tennessee, NC State?
Yeah.
Oh, are you really? Okay, I want to be. I'm not currently.
I'm laying the points with Tennessee.
Wow, I thought you were. Okay, then I'm going to lay the points at Tennessee because I wanted to, but I thought you were about to be because you talked me and NC State over on their fucking win total. And I mean, we're a pro Grayson McCall podcast here.
I am. The concerns to me were from their defense last week.
McCall didn't look spectacular though.
No, he didn't. Didn't play exactly terrible. They did okay on third down, but considering who they were playing, I don't know if that's much to write home about. Western Carolina, their quarterback Cole Gonzalez ran for 6 rushes and 75 yards, I think. when you look
baby.
at the dual threat ability of Nico Iamaleava.
Do y'all remember the one?
How do you say this guy's name?
Don't know. Iamaleava. I made one Heisman Trophy bet this year.
Yeah.
Do you know who I put it on? I put it on the guy who threw for 22 of 28, 314 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half.
I just think it's going to be really frustrating, I feel like, for NC State here, because whenever they do cover the guys, I feel like the quarterback's going to take off and run and kind of punish them there and extend drive. So
one thing I did say was their starting middle linebacker got ejected in the first drive. Is that enough to like sway your position? No, probably not. But that definitely, he may play a factor there.
Yeah.
They typically have good linebacker play.
Right.
So that's something to consider. It's a neutral site game, but it's in Carolina, so not really. It's at Bank of America Stadium.
I don't think it's too far, though, from
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but
I mean, Tennessee's their fans are gonna go over there.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Especially when you have that motherfucker playing quarterback for you.
Yeah.
So I'd follow that dude to the end of the fucking earth. So he could be out there playing quarterback in Pakistan, and we will book a flight.
I almost made this my lock, but
okay, then I gotta take it because I was watching and I was just like, maybe I'll lose every bet, but I'm gonna hit these futures and I'll be okay. Yeah, I'll take it as well. What's the best number we can get?
7.5, I think.
No sevens, huh?
No, like so I mentioned this game in the preview because I mentioned it as a game of importance with the NC State over.
Yeah.
When I mentioned it in the preview, it was 4.5. So.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't look good, but I do like Jordan Waters too, the running back from Duke. I think he can run hard as well. I don't know. I honestly wouldn't have been shocked, I guess, if you would have took NC State with the hook, but just because you were high on him coming in for a good reason. I mean, I hopped on the pick with you, so I didn't dislike it. But yeah, McCall did not look spectacular. I think, didn't he throw a pick six?
He definitely threw one pick. So,
okay. And you're on this as well, Justin?
Yeah.
Okay. That's our first consensus play, I believe. Tennessee minus 7.5. Dude, I should have wore the Tennessee jersey. I didn't know we were doing this. Talk to me about, so you got a good look at Houston.
Yeah.
Should we lay these points with the Sooners?
What's the number?
I saw, it looks like
28.
It's 29.5. Come on. I want to lay these points with these fucking Oklahoma Sooners.
I don't know.
Come on. I will say, yeah, they didn't. Okay, so we could get a 29. In theory,
Houston looked
so
bad.
Yes, I agree.
Offensively,
and we talked about it. Like Willie Fritz, we think he's a good coach, but we expect them to struggle this year. I think. I don't know. The only problem is, so on deck, I mean, Oklahoma's got Tulane. It doesn't matter at home. So they play their next 3 games. So they play their first 4 games to open the season at home. The look-ahead spot would be Tulane because then they have Tennessee on deck. I don't know. I want to lay it, but I don't want to. I wouldn't mind it if like everybody was like, yeah, I was thinking about laying that too.
No,
because I don't know anything this year. I'm going to lay it. Fuck it. I'll lay it. Oklahoma minus 29.5. I don't think Houston's good. It does worry me because Oklahoma was very fortunate with the fumbles. They were allowing whoever the fuck they were playing to move the ball. But this is what I do. I talk myself into questionable picks, and you probably shouldn't listen to me. So can we talk about Oregon? What the fuck was going on with Oregon? Imagine if Idaho State pulls that off.
I was looking at the stats. I was like, Jesus Christ, Gabriel's fucking lighting it up. And then I was like, wait, they can't score.
Yeah. No, yeah. And so I have a play against Boise. I have a play on the game. But imagine if Idaho does the impossible. I think, Idaho might be the best team in the state of Idaho. They lost to fucking Oregon by 10. I'm going to take the over 60.5 in this one. Ashton Genty's going to need to go into a hyperbaric chamber. He ran for 267 yards and 6 touchdowns. He looked fantastic. He's one of the best running backs in the country. It is incredible that Boise held on to him and he didn't get poached by one of the bigger schools. Madsen looked like shit and then looked okay. He can throw a deep ball. I would expect that there's going to be some overreaction with how Oregon looked. I would expect them to get back to business here and lay a big number. Boise's defense looked fucking horrific. Their corners are horrible. Horrible. It was so frustrating to watch, and they couldn't handle any type of mobility from the quarterback. They allowed Georgia Southern to go 12 of 19 on third down. They put up 461 yards of offense. Just a really, really frustrating game. They should have covered the number. They scored 56 fucking points, and they didn't cover. So I'm going over. I'm going to see let me get an updated number here, but I think 60.5 is what we're looking at. Let's see. Yeah, over 60.5 Boise and Oregon. No opinion on this one?
No. I kind of I would lean I would normally probably lean Boise, but just because of the workload of Genty last week, he was kind of fatigued there at the end of the game.
Yep.
You just wonder coming right off of that type of a workload, and he's clearly their best offensive player. So
the backup looked good too.
Yeah,
and he's a true freshman, I believe. So I think when he busted that one long run, I think they were kind of like, okay, we can run. Anybody can run on this fucking shitbag team. And they didn't put him back in there late where the game was in hand in terms of winning, but not covering. Okay, what is your next one? How many more do you have before your lock?
I just have my lock.
What about you, Justin?
Same.
Oh, okay. Then I have, let me see. Wait, is that it for me? God damn it. That might be it for me too. This isn't enough. We should lay this shit with Clemson. They're about to bounce back.
I thought about it.
It's 17.5 now. I don't know what number you saw, but yeah, I
saw
think
17, 18.
I think that was more Georgia's fucking really good.
Yeah, I mean, Clemson was moving the ball there for a minute, but just couldn't finish drives, and then
Klubnik stinks.
They got worn down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally, the levee broke.
Yeah, they did. Alrighty, so we will get to. Let me timestamp it for everybody here. We will get to our best bets of the week, our locks of the week, but I'm obligated to tell you that there is no such thing as a lock.
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need. Come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower and grab your fucking nuts and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Cause I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
Alrighty, for my lock of the week, this is a get-right week. It's got to be. My lock of the week is going to be the Liberty Flames minus 22. This boils down to I just think Liberty is head and shoulders better than New Mexico State. Anything that was worth a shit in New Mexico went to Vanderbilt, and might be the best team in the SEC. Caden Salter's a really good player, probably the best in his conference. I don't know that that's even really negotiable. Parker Awad looked like absolute trash for New Mexico State, 5 of 17 and an interception. I'm going to lay it with the far superior Liberty team here. They're vast favorites to win their conference. I just don't think New Mexico State's good at all. I don't think Liberty necessarily looks spectacular in the first game, but I think they run it up here against New Mexico State. So I'm going to lay 22 as my lock of the week.
All right, I'm going to Oregon State at San Diego State. We're looking at the total here. We're going to go under 55.5. Neither one of these defenses are like super good. Oregon State's defense is certainly better than San Diego State's defense. The key here for me is the quarterbacks. Oregon State's quarterbacks coming from the FCS level to make his first real start against real competition. Last week they played a nobody. San Diego State's in the same position. They played nobody, so the offensive numbers are pretty inflated from last week. And San Diego State starting a true freshman quarterback. I think the offenses are going to try to lean on the run. I don't expect much big plays made from the quarterbacks in this one. So I'm going to go Oregon State, San Diego State under 55.5.
Okay. Justin, what is your lock of the week?
All right, I'm going to the biggest game of the week. This one doesn't require too much thought. Iowa has won 11 of the last 15 matchups against Iowa State and 7 out of the last 8 And now they actually have an offensive coordinator to go along with that experienced offense. And he turned them into the Kansas City Chiefs last week in the second half. So, I mean, Rocco Bett's going to look up to see all those little waving kids from up in that hospital, and he's going to shit himself. I'm going to take Iowa minus 2.5.
Okay. Certainly not the biggest game of the week by any means, because we have Texas going to the Big House to play Michigan.
Biggest game in Iowa.
In a top 10 matchup. Might not even be that. Who knows? All righty. Yeah, I would, like I said, I would lean Iowa under a field goal, but, I mean, we'll see. All right, we get to the money line parlay. Again, last week, me and Justin carried the water for everybody there in the money line parlay. Nick and Joseph left us out to dry with 2 losers. So let's try to get a winner here. The idea is to, make this easy. So I bet more than I should have on it. I thought this was going to be a fucking no-brainer. So let's see who Joseph is taking for his. Let's see. Hold on. And again, just so everybody knows the stipulations here, it is no more than minus 400 4-leg moneyline parlay. Okay, maybe we can't get to Joseph. Where's Joseph? We're going to do it like this.
They went into as 32.5-point favorites. That's a game.
Jesus Christmas.
What's up for this week's Moneyline Parlay? I'm going to take Tennessee over NC State. NC State struggled with Western Carolina last week. That's a game they went into as 32.5-point favorites. That's a game they should have won easily, but they were trailing 21-17 going into the fourth quarter. I do like some of the guys on NC State's offense, McCall, Jordan Waters, Concepcion. They got good guys on the offense, but I don't think that's enough to keep up with Tennessee. Tennessee, they're going to get the timely stops that they need, and their offense is too high-powered. Volunteers over NC State.
Okay, so, yeah, Tennessee's let's get the FanDuel odds. But, and again, if you're looking to place these bets at FanDuel, go to the signupexpert.com/BigEasyBets. Click on FanDuel. Like I said, $5 gets you $200 in bonus bets. There's really no reason not to take advantage of that. Even if you're not a sports bettor, and it's not something you're looking to do, you're getting a free opportunity to make some money. So you might as well take advantage, and it's helping us out. What is your actually, I'll go first, just so I only got one. I'll go first. I only got one.
What do you mean you only got one? I only got one.
Well, you had multiple last week. I only had one, so I just assumed you had multiple.
All right, we'll go searching if you pick the one I just picked.
I'm going to take Central Michigan minus 225.
Okay. Who are they playing? I looked at this for a moment.
Well, let me get Joseph's odds real quick. Hold on, just so we're all in. They're playing FIU. I almost laid it with them. They're 6.5-point favorites. I almost laid the points. So FIU's not good. They're one of the worst teams in the country. So I nearly laid it, but I stayed away. So this falls into the category of I'll just take it minus 225 for the money line. Tennessee is minus 280. Okay, what is yours?
I'm gonna take the SMU Mustangs against BYU. I'm gonna take the minus 400.
Jesus, you want to make sure that this isn't your fault, huh?
No, I really like. I think.
Can I tell you something that's gonna not make you happy?
What?
If we're going by FanDuel, it's minus 410.
Well, we gotta lay it anyway. I mean, it's 10 cents, bro. Y'all give me.
Whoa, rules are rules.
Oh my God, y'all want to risk losing this thing over a fucking couple cents?
No, that's fine. We'll do it minus 410.
I think they're the better overall team.
I thought you were a man of principles.
I think it's a bit of overreaction from week 0 and tough game. Kind of get off to like a really rocky start on offense against Nevada. I like this spot for them.
Okay. I mean, just Bush League move by you. You took the easiest possible route that you could find and then still went over the
I was thinking about doing it with Tennessee.
Well, Joseph beat you to it. So, Justin, what is your leg of the money line parlay?
I'm going to go Maryland minus 345 against Michigan State.
Okay. Alrighty. So we've got Central Michigan minus 225, Tennessee minus 280, SMU minus 410, and then Maryland minus 365, you said?
345.
345. And we will get you, well, let me just do it. I'll get you the exact odds. So we've got SMU minus 410. We've got, where are we? Maryland minus 335. We've got Central Michigan minus 225. And then last one, Tennessee minus 280. Plus 216. You're doing a number on our parlay here.
Oh, my God.
It's fine. It's fine.
If we win this one, we'll be up.
Let's just imagine. So imagine we took yours out at 410 and we added Nebraska plus 252. Not that big of a difference.
No, it's not worth the risk.
But definitely better. Alrighty. So that is our best bets for college football. We are not done, though, because we have the NFL. Let's recap real quick. I am taking Texas minus 7. Kansas State minus 9.5. Colorado, Nebraska over 57.5. Tennessee minus 7.5. Northern Illinois plus 29.5. We're laying 29.5 with Oklahoma. I forgot about that. Boise and Oregon over 60.5. And my lock of the week is Liberty minus 22.
I'm going Kansas State minus 9.5. Army FAU under 43. Tennessee minus 7.5. The Colorado Nebraska over 57.5. And then for the lock, we're going with Oregon State, San Diego State under 55.5.
Okay. Justin, recap yours real quick.
Yeah, Friday night I got BYU and SMU over 55.5. Then on Saturday I got Auburn minus 13 and Tennessee minus 7.5. And for my lock of the week, it's going to be Iowa minus 2.5.
Alrighty, there you go. That is our best bets of the week for college football. Justin is obviously leading the way, sitting at 5-1. But I told you, I'm right there. I feel good. My wins have been easy wins. Our losses have been tough breaks. The tides will turn, so hang in there. We turn our attention to the NFL, and I am very glad that it's back because college has been tough. So nothing to recap because this is week 1. We will start it off with arguably the best Thursday night matchup you could have. Baltimore going on the road to take on Kansas City. If you are new to this podcast, I'll tell you, every Thursday game will be picked by us in some form or fashion. It's a requirement. Whether we like the game or not, we're going to give out a play on Thursday, so there will be action. Starting it off with this one. Ravens and Chiefs. The Chiefs sit at 3-point favorites. The total sits at 46.5. You feel good?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Uh-huh.
Because I don't, so lead the way.
I'm going over 46. That's what I got.
Okay.
I think last year, the strength of these teams was the defense. I think you kind of look at some of the additions in the offseason on both of the offense. Derrick Henry for Baltimore, along with their young receiving core, kind of getting in another year of experience. And then the Chiefs drafting Xavier Worthy. Unfortunately, Marquise Brown's not playing here. That would be another huge upgrade for them because their wide receivers were total shit last year. But I think the offenses kind of make more noise here than expected. So I'm going to go over 46.
Okay. Justin, what are you taking?
I'm going to be taking Ravens plus 3 in this matchup.
Okay.
I like the obvious addition of Derrick Henry in this, and then kind of like what Nick said, not having Hollywood Brown is a big blow to the Chiefs. So they're going to be relying on Kelsey and.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
That doesn't help our over bid.
Well, I just mentioned it because he's out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But, they got Xavier Worthy. Rice isn't a rookie anymore.
No, I know.
They still have Kelsey. But last year they just had Rice and Kelsey.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'll take the over as well.
And a bunch of nobodies that couldn't catch.
So you're taking the points with the Ravens, Justin?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting, the RPO options that they can do with Derrick Henry. So that being the Ravens because we're looking for points. Friday, Packers, Eagles. Are either one of y'all taking it? You're not going to have Friday action in the NFL in Brazil?
It's in Brazil.
I want to take the over. But is the over a bad play because they got to travel to Brazil and they're scared of the fires and crime? They're going to be trying to run the football and get out of here quick
for this.
I think you've got two good offenses. That's what it boils down to for me. I think Jordan Love's good. I think he's got weapons on the outside. I think the Eagles adding Saquon Barkley makes them very dynamic, and they can do whatever they want at this point. They continuously move the chains with the Philly shove, whatever the fuck you want to call it. A.J. Brown on the outside, Devontae Smith. There's weapons all across the field here. So I'll do it. I'll take the over 48. There's no way there's going to be Friday NFL football to start the season off, and I'm not going to have action on it. So are you on this one, Justin?
I am not.
Okay. Alrighty. We move to Sunday. And who feels good? I have 2 plays and then my lock. How many total do you have?
I'm always going to do 3.
Oh, that's right. So you have 2 left? 1 in your lock?
I guess.
Give me your 1.
I'm kind of looking at taking the Browns against the Cowboys. Browns 2.5-point favorites.
Okay.
Just look at like the mix-ups on the changes for the Dallas offensive line. I think it's going to spell problems for Dak off the bat. So you looked at like years where the offensive line kind of struggled. Dak really struggled. So I think this is a tough matchup for their first one. I don't really know what the deal is with Watson.
Yeah.
But I don't really know if that's much of a selling point at this point anyway, because that's not really why you take the Browns.
No, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. Okay. I'm not on that one. I obviously looked at it, but let's jump to Monday. Jets and Niners. Fantastic Monday game, too.
Oh, yeah.
Rodgers going back out west. Are you on this? Is this your lock?
No.
Okay, good. So this line's grown from 3.5 to 4.5. Do you think that's just because of the Niners signing Trent Williams?
I don't know.
Because they were saying he might hold out. And
it might be because Pearsall bought a bulletproof vest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and McCaffrey returned to practice today. I'm going to take the Jets plus 4.5. I think, am I missing something? That's why I was trying to. I understand we got to see Rodgers kind of get back and how healthy is he going to be. But regardless, you've got weapons on the offensive side for the Jets, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, but 2 of the top 3 defenses in the league. I don't even know that that's debatable, really. I would say throw in Baltimore, but you've got 2 of the top 3 defenses in the first game. McCaffrey's getting back to practice today for the first time in weeks with the calf injury. I guess did this jump through 4 because of – I mean, he is the best left tackle in football, so I guess possibly. I don't know what else there would be. So, yeah, I mean, probably because of Trent Williams. And they re-signed Ayuk and all of that. So
no Pearsall.
You big on Pearsall, huh?
Yeah. The guy was going to be a contributor.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they'll still be good without him. You don't think? So you're on the Jets.
I would take the Jets, but I'm not going to do it.
Oh, okay.
I just remember the last time Rodgers rolled out there.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Jets plus 4.5 on Monday. The defense is too good. I don't know. I'll go 4.5. I'm also going to take the Commanders plus 3.5 against the Buccaneers. I'm low on Tampa, not just because I wouldn't even call them a rival. They're in the division. Nobody likes the Buccaneers. I get it. I'm low on this team. I just think we're going to see regression out of the offense. I think it was as good as it could have gotten for Baker last year. Canales is gone. I know a lot of the Tampa fans will tell you Canales was not a good play caller, but he's shown and has proven that wherever he goes, the quarterbacks play better. Ask Geno Smith. Baker Mayfield had a career year last year. He's gone. I think this offense is going to take a step back, and I think that the defense has a serious problem at quarterback. Jamel Dean's burnt toast. Carlton Davis was also burnt toast, but he's not even on the team anymore. I don't know that it's the first game for Jaden Daniels. I understand, so I'm not just picking because I like Jaden Daniels and he went to LSU. I think that the Commanders can be competitive in this game and stay inside 3 points. So what else you got? Just your lock?
Yeah.
How many more do you have, Justin?
Yeah, I got one more than my lock.
All right, do you one more.
All right. I'm going back to Sunday, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the Saints -4 against the Panthers.
Okay.
I mean, I just think we're top to bottom better than them. This is a game that we need to win, and we need to really just show out. And
yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, you would imagine that if we were playing our cards close to the vest and not showing anything on offense, that the offense is going to look better. So Panthers lost Brian Burns, which was just a dumb move by them letting him go. The secondary was pretty fantastic last year. I don't know what necessarily what moves were made there, but I mean, you're going to have a lesser pass rush. Are you on this?
I'm not.
Okay. Alrighty. So now we get to our best bets for the NFL, our locks of the week.
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need. Come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower, grab your fucking nuts, and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nuts.
Alrighty, from my first lock of the week and lock of the year, again, there's no such thing as a lock, but if there was, it would be the Bengals and Patriots under 40.5 points. I'm going to be honest, I think the Patriots will struggle to find their way into the end zone more than a time or two. I don't think this Patriots team is going to be very good. Excuse me, especially if Drake May's leading the charge at quarterback.
What do you mean if?
You never know, dude. They could
He's
roll with
not.
somebody else. Oh, is he not? I was just saying that because
it's brisket.
I was just saying that because of our bet. Yeah, no, in all seriousness, with the Bengals, I question the usage of Joe Burrow. Coming back from the wrist injury, how much are they going to throw the ball? How much are they going to have to throw the ball? I don't think that they really will all that much. I think the Patriots are going to be one of the worst teams in football. No matter who's under center, I don't think they're going to put many points on the board. And I do, like I said, I question the usage rate of Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase still hasn't been signed to a contract as far as I know. I would imagine that's going to happen here very soon. But yeah, under 40.5 is my first lock of the week of the year.
Yeah, no, I like that. Brissett, he didn't look very good in the preseason. They gave him the job because
Drake May didn't win.
No, just because he's got the experience, I guess.
All right, what is your lock of the week?
I'm going to take the Chargers -3, playing the Raiders. I think this team is poised to make a splash right off the bat.
Who are they gonna throw it to?
Who's the Lad McConkey? Yeah.
All right.
No, seriously, I think just looking at the Raiders, Minshew's the quarterback. I think I really do. I think the Chargers are gonna kind of turn it around rather quickly, especially playing against teams that aren't that good. I think that they'll handle business there.
Yeah, one thing.
The coaching's been so bad the past few years for the Chargers. I mean, obviously the quarterback's talented, you know.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'd agree. One thing I wrote down too. One thing to consider is for mine, going back to the Bengals Patriots under 40.5. It's the largest spread of the week, and it's tied for the lowest total.
Yeah,
I think that shows you right there. They're not expecting New England to get in the end zone very much, and with Burrow with the wrist, there's been a lot of like conspiracy theorists that think like his wrist might not be as healthy as they're letting on.
Okay.
I swear I've been reading that like some of the dumpster diving Bengal beat reporters, probably not the most reliable of people, but they speculate if it's fully healed and if it ever will be fully healed. So conspiracy theory, I understand, but so yeah, I'm under 40.5. Justin, what is your lock of the week for the NFL?
Going to a 12 o'clock game on Sunday. I'm going to do the Colts and Texans over 48.5. I like both these teams. I think both of them have some high-powered offense. Texans just got Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon, and then Nico Collins and Tank Dell are both emerging as well. I think this is going to be a really good game, and a lot of points are going to get scored.
Okay. I like my standing in that bet.
And what bet?
That you got Richardson, I got Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker was lighting it up.
Oh,
and did you watch Anthony Richardson?
Yeah, he's good.
I'm talking in preseason.
I thought he made some great plays.
Oh my God. What? He looked like absolute dog shit.
Whatever, dude. Your guy's a backup.
For now.
A career backup.
No. Anthony Richardson looked like garbage. He did not look good.
I didn't think so.
Let's see. He was 8 of 14, 86 yards, a touchdown, and a pick.
That's not bad.
That ain't good. 8 of 14 and an interception?
Didn't he throw a touchdown?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Trying to leave that out.
I said it. I said touchdown to start.
Yeah, but then when you reiterated.
Well, of course, because it's more than 8 of 14.
That's not bad.
That's not good. He's 2 passes away from 50%. Let's see. Yeah, nice. He threw a 9-yard touchdown pass. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that. I bet you Anthony Richardson's not starting before this year's over.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We'll put a pin in that one, dude. He's not good. We saw it at Florida.
The guy was about to take the league by storm and then got injured.
He ran in a couple fucking sneaks from the 5-yard line.
He was looking great.
We'll see. So why are you not taking him?
He got a little banged up. They said, we're not even going to risk losing our fucking franchise quarterback.
So why
sit out the season?
You should be taking +3 at home then.
I thought about it. I did. I think the Texans are going to have a down year.
I don't disagree with that. We've been talking about the potential sophomore slump.
I think everybody's so caught up with the C.J. Stroud versus Bryce Young. It's like, okay, you don't win that in the first year.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely were. We went to
not every rookie quarterback lights it up.
We definitely threw our eggs in Bryce Young's basket,
and I still have him in there.
Yeah,
that's why he's on my fantasy team, ready to fucking make all you look like fools.
Alrighty, to recap, Thursday night I'm taking the over 46 in the Ravens and Chiefs. Friday we're going over 48 in Eagles and Packers. Back-to-back overs to start our NFL season. High numbers too. Don't love it. Jets +4.5 on Monday night. The Commanders +3.5 versus the Buccaneers. And my lock of the week for the NFL is going to be, again, no such thing as lock in betting, but if there was, it would be the Bengals and Patriots under 40.5.
I'm going Chiefs, Ravens over 46. We're taking the Browns at home -2.5. And we're taking the Chargers -3 as the lock of the week.
All right, Justin?
Thursday night, I got the Ravens +3 against the Chiefs. And on Sunday, I got the Saints -4 against the Panthers. And then my lock of the week is going to be the Colts and Texans over 48.5.
All right, there you go. That is our best bets of the week for the NFL. So we've got you covered on college football and the NFL. Do you have anything to say before we go?
Adios, amigos.
Justin?
Oh, good luck.
Episode 194 is in the books. Again, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Hit the like button as well. The tides are going to turn in college football, and then we're going to just do what we do best in the NFL. You're going to do your 3 games. You'll probably go 2-1 every week, and then I feel good. I like my picks this week. So it feels good that it's back. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're going to have football again just like last week. So y'all enjoy it, and y'all have a good one. Who dat?
Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. I've been practicing this pitch a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.